Welcome back, Savages. Tonight we're talking about ghosts and pop culture, books, and TV series. So that's words tonight. Who wants to go first?
I got nothing at the moment, so y'all start and I'll fill in.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can go.
All right, so I'm going to tell us about the supposed Glee Curse. Glee is... I never actually watched a whole lot of Glee, but Glee is that...
I attempted
Yeah.
5 minutes.
See, I was watching it with my mom, and I think we got through, like, season 1-ish before I scattered off to college. But the main basis behind this Glee Curse is so far 3 actors have died, and if you go back through the show, they have sung about a way that they died. Now you can be like, they sing a lot,
Yeah.
but it's still a little creepy
A little bit.
when, like,
Corey, wasn't he the first one?
yeah, he overdosed,
Uh-huh.
and at some point in the show, he sang a song about it. Their next one, he...
Well, didn't he also play a character that his mom was addicted to drugs or something like that?
I don't think in Glee... I didn't watch a whole lot of Glee.
I
But,
watched snippets of it.
no, he was, like, the main male character that...
The pretty boy.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pretty boy, and then his mom married someone... Whole thing. But Corey Monteith died from accidental heroin overdose between filming seasons 4 and 5.
Huh.
So then in, like, season 5, they had the whole tribute to him, but then somewhere between seasons 1 and 4, he sang about an overdose. And so then you look back and it's like, that's kind of weird.
That is kind of weird.
And then Mark Salling was accused of sexual battery and possessing child pornography, and then died by suicide in 2018. And then again, if you go back, he sang about it. And then the most recent one was Naya Rivera, who died in an accidental drowning in California while on vacation.
I remember that
Yeah.
one.
That's what really brought the whole Glee curse, because it's like...
I remember that article. It was all over the place that she left her kid on the boat and she just disappeared. They found him and he tried to tell, like, that she just disappeared.
Wow.
And they don't know they don't know why. They never found any evidence or anything as to why she just...
Seen this, but what do you think? But yeah, between them and then some some like crew members have also passed away during the filming, and so it's like that's a lot of people
Yeah.
to
That
pass
really is.
away.
Well, that's
with
just...
this one
yeah.
show.
I mean, that's just like all the Batman movies, series, books, anybody. It's the curse that surrounds Batman. I mean, because you had the animated television series, you had all of the older movies through the 70s, and you had all of the TV shows that came after that. There was always something on set or something that went wrong. I mean, there are news articles about it. There were books written about it. People were always getting injured. Anybody that was dressed as the Batman or characterized as the Batman, it never went well. People were getting broken body parts. People were getting in the hospital. Things would break. Things would shut down. It was cursed.
Huh. I wonder if it would be like the actual set or...
Well, it's got to, because I'd assume a lot of these things have had different sets, especially going between live action filming and animated filming, because those are two very different types of filming.
True.
So I wonder if it's just the Batman.
Because a lot of people have said, I mean, especially with like what happened with Heath Ledger, A lot of people said when it came to doing the TV series, like, what is it, Gotham, I think is what it was called, that you have all of the Batman franchise, people have to get into a certain mindset to be Batman, to be Joker, to be Harley Quinn, and that drives people crazy. And I think all of that manifesting cause and effect, people.
Yeah.
Cause and
Yeah.
effect.
Well, it could be.
A lot of emotions, be it real or not, that you're putting in to put on a good performance.
Right.
that-
I mean, because people don't understand that when actors and actresses do a good job, they're putting all of their own emotions and out into the atmosphere,
Yeah.
which we all know what happens when you do that. Everything gets manifested. Things go awry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to just latch on to that and
Run with it.
stay
Yeah.
there.
Well, it's just like, what is it? Hamlet? Is it Hamlet? The play?
Yeah.
Oh, something always goes wrong?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's always.
Yeah. Like, I think there's a whole, like, article,
Yeah.
book, and everything written about the play for Hamlet and how,
I think that goes back to the writer, though.
like, it really doesn't matter. It was high school, college.
No, but I think that
Oh.
is from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who originally wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's his
Yeah.
doing there.
Because that was, like, the whole thing. Like, there's things, like, certain things you can't say. And that when I was in high school, people that had done the play, like, people were terrified because something with Hamlet always went wrong. And I was like, well, I didn't participate in that, so I don't know what the whole surrounding thing is. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's been in movies, it's been in TV shows. I mean, at least in the early 80s when you had the Teenage Witch and they were doing Hamlet and
Yeah.
that girl broke her leg.
Yeah.
It all comes from somewhere.
Yeah. I think that comes from the writer because he was a twisted individual.
Well, yeah, not surprised, just
So-
like Dante's Inferno.
Yeah. I think he kind of just set that curse in motion.
Yeah.
And now the people who are scared of it are putting that emotion in and
Right.
keeping it
Right.
going.
Right.
I think Hamlet's the only play that I know of that has backups for backups for backups because something always goes wrong.
Isn't there something like that too, though, with Phantom of the Opera? There's
Yep.
something.
Phantom of the Opera has one too. There are always there's the main leads, and then you have the backups plus extra backups for every. It's not just the leads; it's every character, every set, everything has a backup because sets have been known to catch on fire. People have known to get really hurt. Strange paranormal things have happened during the plays, and it's one of the plays that I want to see the most.
It was so good.
That is one I would actually like to see. I'm not really big into that whole genre,
Neither-
but I would like to see that to experience it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like neither am I, but I've seen a few of the movies, and I've seen. I think they attempted to do like a TV series, but it didn't get very far.
Didn't
I
they
think.
try to do like a live action TV
I-
series
yeah.
type thing? Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't get very far, but I love it, especially the paranormal aspect of it. It's the only reason I want to see it. I've
As
heard
someone
it's,
who has seen it, it was very good and very worth it.
I've heard that. I want to. That and Sweeney Todd.
Ooh, that's one I would like to see.
They do that over here. They do, the high school puts on the play for Sweeney
Yeah.
Todd,
Oh yeah.
but I want to see
the
like,
real one.
the real one. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Maybe we can have an outing to go see Phantom.
That would, yeah.
That would be fun.
I wonder if we could get like a pass to be able to like go backstage and whatnot and
Yeah.
like do an investigation in places that they've done Phantom of the Opera.
That would be cool.
That, yeah, I don't know how we would go about that,
I don't know.
but that would be cool.
That's all you. You got time to figure that out.
Right? Now that I don't have anything better to do with my
Yeah.
life.
What you got?
I've got Bloody Mary.
Ooh.
So, Bloody Mary, folklore, as we know. It's also an urban legend. But there have been...
But don't do it.
No. There are movies, there are books, there are comic books, there are TV episodes. They're not, like, it's not in a series, but, I mean, there are episodes. You had Supernatural.
Yeah.
Had all of those that take.
Didn't they have like multiple? I know that they had the one. But...
So they had the first one,
Mm-hmm.
which was like the main introduction into the show,
Mm-hmm.
and then further on they had another episode where all of their previous things that they've had have come back,
Mm-hmm.
like tenfold,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all different. But the biggest thing like that surrounds Bloody Mary is, they have one Ghost Whisperer too. Meh. They had X-Files, The Haunting Hour, the regular show, South Park. Like they've even done video games, which
Oh, yeah.
no, we're not going to do that. And even it even looks like they did some music, and it was Lady Gaga who pulled that in.
That does not surprise me.
No.
No, not at all.
But according to this, anybody who has had to do the mirror scenes or do the scenes that involve invoking her have had something go wrong.
I'm not surprised.
You are literally calling upon whatever
A spirit
it is.
of some kind. I mean, because people don't understand that Bloody Mary is based off of a spirit.
Yes.
From a lady who committed suicide because her kids died. And it just, Bloody Mary and the Lady in White kind of go hand in hand. They're almost the same, but they're not. Bloody Mary is more vicious.
Gruesome.
Yeah. And anybody who has had to invoke her in the movies and the TV shows and the books that they've all written about her have not had nice things happen to them.
No, because you're basically saying, hey, you, come here.
Right.
Right.
It's like, hey, let's talk.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No.
A lot of the issues where people were having nightmares, people were assuming that they were being followed. I mean, I could see that. I was not one of the kids growing up who decided to hang out in the bathroom and with the lights off
I never did it. No, I was afraid.
Yep. I mean, when we had the sleepover when I was a kid and the girls were all like, let's all do this. And I said, absolutely not. Because the house that we were in, there was something that was very odd about our attic, and I hated being in the bathroom. And I wouldn't even look in the mirror because I was afraid I was going to see something behind me. And when the girls were like, oh, let's do this, and I'm like, let's not, and say we did, and then one of the girls ended up having nightmares, and I'm like, try to tell you that. Right. Consequences of your actions.
Who would have thunk it?
Right.
I did all the other things you're not supposed to do, but I would not do that one. For whatever reason, I was like, nope, I'm not touching that.
No, I mean, that's just, that's like with the Candyman.
No, I didn't do that either. No. No.
The Candyman was one of the big ones, too, because his whole thing was that he would come through the mirror with his hook and take you.
Yeah. No.
And, no. Anytime you have to look into a mirror to invoke things is
Immediately no.
Right, is never a good idea.
No, thank you.
Because mirrors are portals. They will literally just...
They
go
will
through.
come right out at you. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Nope. I made the mistake of having a room set up before I moved it around of mirrors all facing each other.
Yeah.
I was like,
Immediately
no,
no. Immediately
mess that
no.
up. So I would just turn them around. Invoking things in mirrors is never a good idea.
No, I'm good. I don't even, like, if it's nighttime, I won't even look in the mirror in the bathroom. Because I know that there's going to be something looking back
I
at me.
don't do that either.
No.
Anytime I have to get up in the middle of the night, I turn on the hallway light because, like, it's in that small space that we have, it's dark. There's only one light. I will turn on the hallway light. I will walk into the bathroom and flip on all the lights. I will not look in the mirror.
I generally won't even turn the bathroom light on if everybody else is sleeping because I don't want that light on when I walk to the sink to wash my hands and walk out. Nope. Mm-mm.
But yeah, no, I can't be in the dark.
Yeah.
Being in the dark makes my skin crawl.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
So I turn on all the lights and then I go, or I'll hold it until morning when Jeff gets home.
Yeah, when you get old like me, that's not an option. I don't have a lot about TV and such. The only thing that I have seen recently, like as far as news goes, where they don't really report on that kind of stuff very often. But there was one news story about a family had started recording their child because something kept, like the kids kept talking and there's nobody there. And then they kept recording little snippets here and there. And then at one point, the baby in his little diaper was just sitting there and he went floop, or something just pushed him over.
Well, that's rude.
And that just kept going on the news for like a good solid week. Generally, they don't talk about.
No, I mean, because a lot of the news articles and things I know that have come around are usually involving your friends.
Yeah, I don't like those, but there's a big one going around now about that.
And a lot of them, you see an article for like maybe a week and then it's shut down.
Yeah.
It's instantly, oh no, it was a hoax, because nobody wants to report on that because
Taboo.
right,
Yeah.
because then you're considered crazy, or the people who have their PhDs and whatnot in that field are discredited and
Right.
considered to be crazy, and then that usually leads to the deaths of these people because they
Yeah.
can't take being criticized, and
Yeah.
their whole image is tarnished.
Either that or you get the opposite side of the spectrum where they're actually proving something and then these people end up dead.
Right.
Not by their
Right.
own hand, but
Right.
because they're on track for something.
Especially those
Right,
people
right.
who decide that they're going to go take a walk through the desert,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, you got trucks following you home because you found something that you shouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there is the one that you just mentioned where, was it Arizona? Was that where that one
Probably.
was? So they all saw the green light in the sky and then it supposedly crashed in the backyard. Well, the people come running out of their house and they're videoing this and you can see the people going in the backyard. But you can't really see much else. Well, there's these guys who do like criminal investigations and
Like the forensics people.
yeah. So they came in and used their equipment and they analyzed this frame by frame by frame, and they have come out and said it is 100% not fake. It is true. And when they went in and did it frame by frame, you can see they're claiming cloaking devices where you can see a head here at the top of the fence, or the shape of a head, if you want to call it that. And then another one back behind the people who are going through the fence. You see another one back here where it's like cloaking device is going, so you can kind of see the figure, and
Right.
it ain't pretty. Stuff like that makes the news. And then now these people are in a bunch of hot water because they're saying, no, these people are not lying. They did not fake this video.
Right, and then you get the men in black who show up, and then next thing you know,
Look into the flashy thing. I just watched that today.
Yep, you get the men in black who show up, and then everybody disappears, or all the news articles disappear, and it never happened. You get that a lot with the paranormal world.
Yeah.
Like, we are discredited a lot. I mean, how many investigations have we gone on where we know stuff happened?
Right.
Like when we went to the Ross house.
Yeah.
And
I
there
want
was,
to go back there. Anyways.
Like when we went to the Ross house and I felt somebody running next to me.
Yeah.
We caught it on camera. We caught it on audio.
Mm-hmm.
And still, that's not enough for people because they're like,
Right.
oh, you could have. No.
Fishing line.
Like, right. I was running.
Right.
I was running and somebody was running next to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or when we went to the opera house. When we were running, every time we would go up or down the stairs, you heard the second and third set of footsteps coming down the stairs behind you.
Yeah.
But yet on the tablet that was facing the stairs, you don't see anything, but you can
hear it.
clearly hear
Yeah.
the feet.
You can hear it. And a lot of people, they get discredited for that because they're like, oh, well, you can fake that. You can overlap audio. Da 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 da. And it's like,
I will give you the raw audio. There
Right.
is nothing.
We were there. We saw it with our own two eyes, but even that's not good enough anymore.
No.
Unless you catch it on video and people can sit and stare at it.
It needs to be like live video while they're watching it.
Right.
Or
Well, even then people are going to be like, well, no, you did this. And
Right.
There's no winning.
Right. Another one from when we were at the Opera House, when we have the footage of the face going through the 3 windows up in the film room. You can clearly see it's here, then it's here, then it's here, then it's here.
And the guy, before he left, told us that there is a man that is seen in that area walking back and forth. But you report that to the news and whatnot, and they're just like, oh, well, you're a liar.
Yeah.
Right.
And then people are, they're called out. They're treated like bugs on the ground and whatnot. And
it's not
discouraging.
It really is, because I can't say this for everybody, but people like us, we are in it for good intentions. We're
Right.
not in it to be the next bagel bites or whatever. We want to do when we do house cases, we want to help people.
Right.
And B, we like to do the other places because we want to see what's out there.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
We want the why
Right.
behind everything. And so when you get this stuff that's concrete evidence, an EVP or a figure in the window or whatever you get, a picture or a video, and you take that to somebody and they look at it and wholeheartedly that this is real because you were there,
Right.
and they look at you and tell you you're crazy.
right. Yeah. I mean, how many people have had all those articles go around about Skinwalker Ranch
Yeah.
and everything that was seen there, and you get to see tidbits of it, and then all of a sudden it's just gone.
Yeah.
And oh, nothing happened there. It's not paranormal. Da 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 da. Have you seen the TV series? Because
Right.
I've
Like, are you
seen the
sure?
TV series.
Right. And you can Google that. And if you find a really good article on it right now, I guarantee you go back in 2-3 weeks, it's not there anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That honestly is not a place that I would ever visit.
No.
I want to, except for the A words. I don't want the A words.
Exactly. And that's the whole big thing too, is you mention the owls and people are like, nope, can't talk about that. Nope, can't do that. Can't do this, can't do that. And I was actually listening to a podcast that I like, and they were talking about that, about how a man who has a PhD in looking at the sky was discredited
Yeah.
because of something that he saw.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why a lot of those people, when they do have stuff like that, don't come forward because they're
Right.
going to lose that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there were countless news articles about stuff that's happened in like Arizona. Arizona's a big one.
Yeah.
And it's come from military, it's come from policemen, and the articles are there and then they're gone.
And if they do come forward with these things,
They're crazy.
the people either are deemed crazy, they go missing, or they go into hiding because they fear for their lives.
Right.
Or
and,
they're just being ridiculed
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
people are mean.
and for people who are in the paranormal community, we want to be able to share things that have happened to us and whatnot. And
We want to educate people that, not everything is bad or
Right.
not everything is paranormal. We
Right.
go a lot of times and debunk stuff. So it's not, we are there to educate. And if on the rare chance we get to find somebody in one of those professions, they will only talk to you under like extreme anonymity because they don't want to be
Right.
ridiculed.
Right, and I know a lot of people a lot of the reporters have said that this is what they were told to report on. They write the article and then they're immediately told, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't post it, nothing. They post it and then next thing you know, they're gone.
Yeah.
And nobody knows where they went, nobody knows what happened. It's either that or they were fired from their job. And
Yeah, right.
immediately everything is taken down.
People are either trying to cover things up, or they're like, you're crazy. We don't want that on, like, these big news places. They're like, we don't want that stain
Right.
on our reputation.
Right.
Right.
And so there's like,
Which is silly because
right.
they don't want the stain of the paranormal,
Right.
but yet let's go have 50 articles about the latest pedophile.
Right.
Right. And then, or you get the people who are like, cool, let's turn this into a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And then they completely take this little snidbit, run with it, and then everything is like, well, that's not actually what happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you get the families who are upset because it makes them seem like
Crazy.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
makes them seem like they're crazy or that they're stupid for
Right.
believing in what they believe in.
Yes. Or you get the other side where they take the whole investigation and only take out the little snippets and make it into this whole huge horrific thing where either the people all have mental illnesses or, oh, it's all because you did these bad things
Right.
and you caused this.
Right.
Yeah, and then they got people yelling at them. You did that to yourself. And it's
Yeah.
like, those people are suffering in
Right.
their own home.
Right.
Let's help them instead of ridicule them. more.
Right. Okay. If it is something that they truly caused, help them figure out why and help them fix it.
Right.
You don't ridicule them because of it.
Right. I mean, you get all the TV series now about the serial killer families and everything that happened to them, and then all of a sudden, like, families are coming forward with lawsuits because they were like, that's not what we told you, that's not what happened, and the news reporters are like, well,
This sells more, so
right,
Right. It's a better story.
right. And that's not something that you want.
No.
It would be nice if news reporters and whatnot could just be like, yeah, this is my job. I report the paranormal. Because then it might open up eyes.
Mm-hmm. And
For-
I'm sure that there are some that do, but they don't get big because
right.
people are like, oh, well, you're crazy.
Right. They're just the ones, like, there are a few websites out there that are somewhat reputable where they do actually go through the stories of the paranormal, but again, they're few and far between.
Mhm.
It would be nice if it became more mainstream so
Mhm.
that people who are dealing with that kind of thing don't
feel
immediately
alone.
feel alone, isolated, or crazy.
Mhm.
Right.
Because there are a lot of people who are afraid to ask for help because they don't want the stigma of,
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, that's like the whole thing that surrounds Ed and Lorraine Warren. You had the whole that they're fake and all this other stuff. We don't know because we weren't there.
right.
Mhm.
Now, their grandson has come forward with all of their tapes and all of their stuff and whatnot of this is what actually happened, and he's been ridiculed for it
Right.
with, you know, all the things that they've done. You can't just brush people off because you don't believe.
Right.
Like Ed and Lorraine Warren, they were ahead of their time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they did a lot for the community that I don't think people realize.
No.
No.
And I don't think they care because Ed
No.
and Lorraine were doing things that the mainstream doesn't agree with and doesn't believe in. I think they were fantastic people.
Oh yeah.
I think if they were around today, they would be huge.
They they would be. Oh my God!
They would be unstoppable.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. They helped so many people. They did it out of
Wanting to help.
genuinely wanting to help people.
yeah. Like they paved the way for people like us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't, at least I don't think, ever asked for payment. They
I
would
don't
take donations
think so.
probably.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they ever asked for anything. I think,
No.
I mean, I would have to research to be 100% sure, but from what I've seen from their grandson, because I follow all of his stuff too,
Mhm.
I don't think they ever asked for anything.
No.
no, they just wanted to help.
And they had a family of their own that they put off to the side to help people.
Yeah. You don't get a lot of that now.
Mm-mm.
No.
It's all about people trying to get big and make money and whatnot, and you get people like Zach Bagans.
Yeah.
He's a character.
I like him
I don't.
in some aspects. Can I watch him and keep a straight face?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
No.
not.
Would I love to experience doing an investigation with him?
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be interesting, to say the least.
But I think it would be a lot like anything that we do. A whole lot of nothing, a few minutes of, ooh, wow, ah, woo, and then a whole lot, of nothing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he brings along his own friends, so it may be a little more exciting.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
But-
Well,
like
I mean,
Post
that's
Malone.
right.
Yeah.
God.
I wasn't talking about Posty. I was talking about all of his little friends he has inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's...
I can't.
He's special.
He's a little overboard. But, again, he paved the way.
Right.
did.
He did.
So, I mean,
Him-
you got to give credit. He has paved the way for a lot of little people like us and everybody else out there.
That and the Ghost Hunter TV show.
They have made it more mainstream.
Yep, you get the Rotor Rooter by day and Ghost Hunter by night.
Yes.
But that was always my favorite, was watching their shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, they got to go to some amazing places.
Yeah.
And again, they were the type of people who they would debunk when needed, but they were there. They know what happened.
Yeah.
And you can't discredit them even though you want to. People
Right.
tried and they were like, nope, here you go.
Yeah.
You want to see it for real, let's go.
Yeah.
And-
People aren't going to believe stuff unless they were there, but then they end up
And
on
even,
our side.
And even if they
of-
are there, if they truly don't want to believe,
They
they're
won't.
not going to believe it no matter what you do.
Right. Well, I mean, that's people that are, when they constantly ask me questions, like, it's almost like a joke of, like, well, how many people are here right now? Can you see them? And I'm like, again, I don't see people unless I'm meant to. I feel them.
Right.
That's the thing. And they're like, when you go to a grave site, and they're like, well, how many? And I'm like, this isn't fun for me.
Yeah, this is
It's
not a
over-
parlor trick.
Right.
Right.
It's overwhelming for me because I'm shaking, and there are people who are touching me and trying to, make their presence known. It's not fun
Right.
for me. And I think a lot of people like me and others are just afraid to be like, yes, I can do that because they're going to get ridiculed.
Right.
I know people who are probably like, whoa, she's just putting on a show. You can think that, but again, you're not there to see
Right.
what we go through.
Yep. And then if you do admit that you see people or hear people or feel people, then it becomes like a parlor trick.
Right.
Everybody says, ooh, can you do this? Who's here?
Right. I mean, when we were in Kanye, how many times did I get that question of, well, how many people are here right now? And I just kind of roll my eyes. But you guys could clearly see, like, my hands were shaking because I couldn't physically be there anymore.
Yeah.
And it was getting overwhelming.
Yeah.
And going to certain rooms where my whole body would shut down. It's not fun for people like me.
Mm-hmm.
And people who can see the spirits, it's not fun for them either.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the issues with news reporters and TV series is they put all that stuff out there, but they don't get the full details
Right.
of what actually happened.
Right.
It's just what you can turn into.
A quick buck.
Yeah.
Yeah. What will
Yeah.
make you get the most clicks on your news story?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And it's very disheartening to the paranormal community.
It really is. And then, you have all the movies that sensationalize it, and that gets disheartening too, because then it's turned into a joke.
Right.
Or it's made bigger than it really is. It's made...
It's made to be this big, huge, there's never a dull moment. You go in
Right.
and things start flying through the air, and So then
When we've sat for 20 minutes
Yeah,
right.
and
Nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, and
We're
then,
just sitting there, you know, BSing and talking about what we had for dinner that night because nothing's happening.
Yeah.
yeah, and then people go, well, clearly you're fake. And it's like,
Right.
no, you just have seen never a dull moment, big stuff flying off the wall, and that's not, it sometimes is, but it's not,
That's not the
99%
reality.
of the time,
Yeah.
that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
Right. Mind boggling.
Yeah.
I think that there needs to be more real representation and education
Yeah.
in the media, because
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people, like you were saying, how many people, some people might just genuinely not know how that works. So if there's more
Right.
like education, then less people are going to come and be like,
Right. And like,
asking invasive questions.
and right. And I've gotten a lot of questions, and we took a little trip to the graveyard because, you know, for a Halloween party, and everybody's like, oh, let's go. And I was like, it's not going to be fun for me. I can tell you that right now. I made it to the front lots, and instantly I went into overdrive, and I started crying, and I couldn't get it under control. And they were like, well, how many people do you see them? And I'm like, I'm surrounded. That's the feeling I get, is I don't see them, but I get
You can feel
the feeling
that they're there.
that there are a ton of people touching me. And trying to explain that to people, they're like, oh, okay. Like, or like when I walk in somebody's house, they're like, well, does it feel haunted? I'm like, that's not how that works. Like, yes, I can feel the feelings in your house, but I'm not going to know if your house is haunted or not. I'm just going to feel what I feel. And whether you want to know or not, I'll tell you. Most people don't want to know, but like, I don't. And I don't have that problem sharing my story about my gothic cottage and the old man that lives downstairs. I don't have a problem with that. But I think people who want to report things like that, they don't.
Yeah.
Because it's a scary situation.
Yeah.
I could be called a freak all day. I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
You could live in a haunted house. I know I live in a haunted house, and it's fine with me.
Right. As long as they know their boundaries, we're good.
Right. And I think that a lot of the media sensationalizes all of that.
Yeah.
They'll take, I mean, the stories of people that have passed away in car crashes, how many of them have been turned into some kind of TV show?
Yep.
And you don't know what the family went through. You don't know what happened. You're just going to be like, yes, we need this section right here.
Yeah.
We're going to blow it up, and this is what's going to happen.
Like that one that this picture floated around. It's still out there somewhere. It was a picture of a car crash. You can clearly see the image of like the person actually leaving their body.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And that got blown up, and it was all over the news and turned into this big twisted story.
Of how it was faked.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
And
like the family's grieving people.
Right. But
Well,
who cares
I mean,
about that?
even
We're
the-
just going to post this car crash that
Right.
their
Right.
loved one died in.
But I believe even the EMT that was there that day said she saw.
Yeah. She saw it with her own eyes.
Yep. And she was told, nope, it's fake. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, so you've got the grieving family who's like death is plastered everywhere, and then you've got other people whose experiences are being invalidated, and that hurts.
Yes.
Right.
So now you've got more emotions because humans are being mean to other humans.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to a lot of what we said about if media is going to run with a story, they need to get all of the facts.
And they need to stop sensationalizing everything.
Yeah.
Right. If it's just a story, it's just a story.
It's okay.
But not everything has to be this huge blown out of proportion thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's okay to have that pause.
And it's okay to have some humanity.
Right.
People lack that
People suck.
right?
Yeah.
People
of the
just lack
story.
that anymore.
All right, on that note, I think
We
think
could rant
we're-
about this
yeah,
all day.
right.
I think we're good before we bash
Yeah.
too many other people.
Yeah. I think moral of the story. Moral of the story.
Be nice.
Be nice.
Right.
If you have questions, be respectful.
Right.
If you're gonna report about it and you write a news article, send it our way.
Right.
Let
We'll-
us.
We'll
Screen
plaster
it.
that everywhere.
That we will.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Welcome back, Savages. Tonight we are doing ghosts in pop culture, books, movies. Nope, not movies. News and TV.
Okay, reset yourself. Look at the camera.
I was like trying to remember everything.
I like that movies. Nope, not movies.
Not that one.
It's too much.
Okay, here we go again.
Not movies.
We're talking about ghosts not in movies.
Yep, that's
You
Okay.
killed April.
yep.
All right.
Oh, that hurt.
Google chops 1, 2, and 3. And
Welcome back, Savages. Tonight we're talking about ghosts in pop culture. I can't now. I like it. Okay,
Uh-huh.
we're good.
Uh-huh.
all right, here we go.
Third time's the charm.
Yep, okay.